It's time for today's travel and cruise industry news. With the latest from travel and cruises around the world, here's your host, Chillie Falls.
Good morning. Welcome to Travel and Cruise Industry News on this, the 11th day of June, 2021. Sorry about the lighting, folks, if it's a little not what it normally is. The studio light burned out again that we just replaced, 10 days ago? And I put a replacement bulb in, which we got two when we got them. Put the replacement bulb in and it didn't work. So we've got lighting issues, but I've rigged together some other lights just so I get enough to go on the air. Welcome to, if you're new to this channel, this is, we regularly do travel and cruise industry news Monday through Saturday, 11 o'clock Eastern Daylight Time, where we discuss a major topic of the day. And then we go over and visit to see who's in the chat room and see what anybody's had to say, or if there are any questions or any opinions or answers to any questions that I might pose while I'm running my big fat mouth. The topic today is back to sea for more Carnival ships. It was announced yesterday that Carnival Cruise Line will enter 3 more ships in service in July and August, bringing to a total 7 ships that are scheduled to sail, including 1 from the West Coast. In addition, Carnival confirmed that, at least for the time being, all guests aboard their ships will need to be fully vaccinated. I'll repeat that. Any guests on board their ships will need to be fully vaccinated in order to board, or at least sailings taking place during the month of August. This information came directly from Carnival Cruise President Christine Duffy. Now, the first thing I thought of, what happened to the Florida law? What happened to Governor DeSantis saying he's going to fine cruise lines if they do more than ask, if you're vaccinated? You cannot have, nobody can ask for proof of vaccination. You can ask, they don't have to answer. Which didn't make any sense either. Texas adopted the same law. For some reason, Carnival didn't seem worried about that a couple of days ago, if you recall. But clearly, the Florida issue is still alive. So what happened with that? What's Governor DeSantis and the Florida legislature going to do now? And is Carnival really calling out Florida with this? I don't know. Something tells me that's not the end of this story. Meanwhile, the long-awaited debut of Carnival's newest ship, the Mardi Gras, was announced. The ship, which recently arrived at her new home port in Port Canaveral, will set sail on what Carnival calls pre-inaugural sailings beginning July 31st. That sounds to me like that's the CDC's test sailing. They're going to test it before they get the final approval to have passengers on board. That's what it sounds like. Meantime, Carnival Panorama will resume sailings out of Long Beach, California on August 21st. When the ship was originally launched back in December of 2019, it officially became Carnival's first new build to get a West Coast debut in 20 years. So the Panorama is going to get going again. Now, with California, doesn't seem to be any issues. Of course, Panorama still has to have a green light from the CDC. That's going to fall back to, are the passengers vaccinated? If they're not, if it doesn't reach the threshold of 95%, then they have to go through the test cruises. So, this story's still going to have some chapters, folks. I'm telling you, don't go running to jump on one of these cruise ships just quite yet. We're looking like we're heading in the right direction, but we're not necessarily there. All right, the Carnival Sunrise, which began sailings from the Sunshine, will begin sailings from the Sunshine State as of August 14th. Sunrise, of course, was the former Carnival Triumph, which underwent a massive renovation in 2019, emerged as the sister ship of Carnival Sunshine. There's no word yet on when Carnival Victory, which is currently undergoing a similar renovation, will emerge from dry dock as the Carnival Radiance. I was on the Sunshine back in February. That was the last cruise I was on before the shutdown, unfortunately. And finally, from yesterday, the Carnival Magic is set to welcome guests back on August 7th when the ship will begin sailing out of Port Canaveral. Magic recently emerged from dry dock and is now sporting the same blue hull which was introduced with Mardi Gras and will eventually become standard across the entire Carnival fleet. Now, folks, I would be remiss if I didn't comment on the disturbing story this morning from the Celebrity Millennium. As much as I would like to completely ignore this story, a couple tested positive overnight from a mid-cruise test. They were quarantined immediately. Contact tracing was implemented. They were quarantined in their cabins, and they were asymptomatic. Royal Caribbean and the Millennium did it right, at least from the protocols. All passengers and crews had to produce proof of vaccination plus pass a test to board. And still, folks, you got 2 cases, both asymptomatic, like I said, discovered by an onboard spot test. Now, as I told a major news outlet earlier today, the protocols on the ship, on the Celebrity Millennium, are working. There is no major spread, at least from the first batch of testings that they had results from for. It shows that this can happen anywhere. If we want a cruise industry, we must take every possible precaution, and it still may not be enough. But those precautions have to include vaccination for the guests. Period. The end. So all of you states that are passing legislation that are saying you can't ask or require vaccination by any business, get off your high horse. You're not going to have a cruise industry unless the cruise industry can specifically require their passengers to be vaccinated, at least for now. And still, there could be problems. But that's my take on it, folks. Anyway, let's go see who's here today. Sorry about the people on there. And I have not heard anything further from the Millennium other than the first batch of tests that they produced and ran overnight were all clean. Also, I have not heard if the retest of the couple that tested positive was negative a second time. So that one is still up in the air, but happened, during the night and, or probably last night. And this went on through the night with the quarantining and notifications and all that business. And remember, folks, when we had an interview from on board that ship, and Ashley said, yeah, they did it right on boarding. Everybody was required to be vaccinated. They still had to pass a test. They were following all the protocols established, and they still had a problem. So, all right, let's go see who's here. Nikki's with us from down in Florida. Hi from Crystal River, Florida. Just brought fresh produce from a roadside stand. Next stop, Gainesville, and then home. Nice. Gretchen's with us up in Ohio. Glad to hear fully vaccinated. Makes good sense to protect everybody. That's what I think. But I don't understand the whole reasoning by that business. Gretchen says, good morning to Nikki. We've been to my son's, to Sam's Club, and to Dick's looking for golf clubs already. Busy morning. John Reitmeyer's with us. He's up there in Minnesota. By the way, John, since you're on the board, it'll save me from sending you a message. I've got 3 or 4 requests out for Sunday and haven't gotten anything back yet from anybody. But I'm working on it. See if we can't get a guest for Sunday on the Cruise Amigos. Right now, I don't have anything booked. So that's just the way it is. Gretchen says, we old people know how to seize the day. I hear you, Gretchen. Gretchen says, if you've been dry, John, Ohio, it's wet and pop-up downpours, typical summer. Yeah, we had another pretty good one here last night, too. And I had just a tremendous workout with my physical therapist in the pool yesterday. It was brutal. Good workout. But I was tired last night, I mean to tell you. So I'm probably going to head out to the pool shortly, and we'll take it pretty easy today. Gretchen says, where's Tom and Emily? I don't know what Tom is doing. Emily's probably working. Tom is, he was around earlier this morning, as was Bonnie. She was around too. So that's going to wrap me up for today, guys. I will be back tomorrow. So for you new guys, 11 o'clock, Monday through Saturday, travel and cruise industry news. I'll be here every day. And then, of course, watch out for the YouTube shorts, because that generally is another story, just not one big enough to do a whole show about. So that's it for now. I'll see you guys tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. Later, y'all. I regularly post videos on all facets of the travel and cruise industry. So if you like to keep up with the latest in cruise ships, ports of call, cruises themselves, Chillie chats, and travel and cruise industry news, just hit the little subscribe button in the lower right-hand corner, hit the bell notification so you'll be notified when a new video is up or we go live. This video was produced by Chillie's Cruises. Okay.